So this one's just a fun one. We're teaching this dog who's going to be a gun dog, who's already a gun dog, just a little bit better of her retrieval skills. She has this just down naturally. It's in her genes. It's in her DNA. She was bred well for this job, to go retrieve ducks, bring them back. But what we're trying to get is just better details. You'll see that she doesn't quite hold the dummy that we're using and bring it all the way back to this place, which is okay. In the start, what we're working on is, hey, you need to identify this target. I'm going to send you out to get these individual dummies one at a time, and you got to stay here and you got to wait for me to cue you, prompt you to go and retrieve it. And we're also trying to do this in specific directions. So the beauty of using a target is I can keep the dog here, I can keep them, and they just kind of rotate. So I can go through, I can build self-control, her seeing me throw these, and I start short, and then I throw them further and further away. But what I also want to do is I want her to understand, hey, you got to go to the one that I'm sending you in the direction that I'm sending you in. So here, I'm really trying to get this finite detail of that one that I'm pointing you at, that's the one you got to get to. She's kind of looking at the one over there. I'm lining her up. I'm using the leash, taking a step forward, trying to get her to see that one in front of us. It's kind of off of the screen, but I want her to see, hey, it's that one, not those other two I threw. So I even leave her. I try to point it out to her, try to help her out as much as possible. That's really the goal. I even need to just stop her, put her back on, make things a little bit easier for her as much as I can. I'm waiting for her to see it. Once she sees it, I'll try to send her off to it, but it's just a work in progress. And help your dog out as much as possible. There, I use the leash. I really just throw her in that direction. She almost cannot fail because I'm really helping her out. And then it's a lot easier as we're going along through this process for her to understand what I'm doing. I'm pointing you to the one that I want you to get. But I wait for her to really lock on to it, or at least in the direction that I'm throwing her, basically. And I'm waiting until she can give me that cue before I send her off. Because otherwise I'm going to send her off in a direction she's not going to do it. Then we take the place away, and we're just going to then work on her coming into that position without a place and spinning her into the heel position. So this is going to be where I want her to come every time with a duck, or every time with anything that I send her out to go and retrieve. So I'm guiding her as much as possible, and I want her bringing it all the way. So now I'm not going to just accept her being kind of lazy and just dropping it before she gets to me. She's got to put it in my hand, ideally. So I use the bumper, actually, to guide her into that position. And then as she's coming back, I'm doing the same kind of thing. I'm guiding her into that position, and she's got to eventually hold it and go through that whole motion, holding that, going into that position. Here I'm just trying to get her to be able to understand what it is that I'm asking of her. And it's, again, a work in progress. This kind of stuff takes some time. So we're just at least getting her to understand, hey, you got to hold it. You got to hold it and bring it to me. And you can see she's just getting frustrated. So once I get just a good repetition of her kind of handing it to me, we move on. And again, I'm going to spin her into this heel position, bring her to my side. And to help, I can even just do this without fetching, using food in my hand, luring her into that position, and then marking it, spinning her, guiding her, and having her sit. And then it's going to be a lot easier for her to understand when she is actually retrieving something where I want her to go. But we're just building that understanding of her coming to this one side and ideally spinning into it at the same time, in the same way every single time, and being able to hold that tug or that duck the entire time until technically I tell her to out it. But hey, again, work in progress. So here I'm lining her up, sending her out, having her come back, and then giving it all to me. She's got to really work at that. I'm not going to accept her just dropping it in front of me. And I like to, again, spin the dog around, kind of confuse them, point them and challenge them to this one. I want you to go to this one. Don't look at that one. Go to this one, right? So I just keep inching. Once she looks, send her off. She's coming back. She's got to give it all the way to me. Perfect. And then we're going on to our final one. Again, I could use a dummy to kind of guide her into that position. That's what I did just there. They're going to need that guidance when you're first doing this. So really help them out. Once she sees, I send her off. She comes. She's bringing it back. And as she's doing this again, I'm luring her into that position. She doesn't pick it up. She needs to pick it up. So she's going, and she's just kind of going through the motions. I'm working her until she gives it to me. And then a ton of praise. We end up taking a break, and then we move on to some different exercises. One, just holding it down. Being able to hold that down while I'm moving around you, for instance. That's a one that's easy. Even when she's turning and still laying down, I like that. I release that. That is so important for your dog to be able to do if they are holding a position such as a down, is to be able to pivot with you or stay in that down the entire time while you go behind and not get up. That's ideal. That's what we want. Same with if I throw this dummy. Whoa, hey, no, you can't do that. You got to still stay in that down. I did not release you. So we're just now challenging, and we're really shaping this behavior through just multiple variations and challenges, such as just holding the down while I throw dummies, or if I go behind you. Again, work in progress. For any dog that has a high drive or retrieve, this is a perfect exercise for you to practice with them.